Hi, welcome back to a new part of our tutorial to build a train. That's the part from last time. Today we make the stones. That means we need to make the landscape, the rocks, and the rest. So we start with adding a mesh cube. We scale them and scale them in the Y. Scale Y. Then we need an upper part and a down part. So that means we want to change the height of them in separate parts. That means we go here with Control R and plug in here a loop and there one. Then here one. And then we can change the topology of them so that we go up with them here. So that we have a little high place at this part. Then we go here and extrude that out to this direction and go over from here, extruding, go over the iron stuff there. Then we bring out here to get a side panel. This side panel we extrude to the front, and from there we rotate that in the set. And then we extrude them to the side so that we have something that looks like that. That is our scene. Um, the next we have to do is that we close here this part between them. So we need a loop in the horizontal. So Control R, give them here a loop, and it should be near to the iron. So we have that. We now can close that here. So that means we can go from here the front to this panel and close it with F. So we are secure that it is closed really, and it looks like it is closed. Um, Here from this opening, we must later check if it is correct or not. But in this case, it isn't important. We close here. That is important in a moment. So with F, we close that, and then we have at first that here. That isn't surely not enough to get this whole stuff from the mountains there in and something from that. So we will subdivide this whole thing to get more control over it. So we can get them all and subdivide them separate times. So we go in here, subdivide one time, see what happens. Two times. I think that is enough. Because you later will not see all because of the many textures we use then. So you will not see the face of them. We take here proportional editing connected, and now we can make them a little bit more natural look for that. So when we grab here and get a huge influte, then you see we can bend that here good. Then when we take it there, you must look from the right angle. That is important when you use that. You can take here a little more. And now we must get away all straight lines. Straight lines never happens in nature. So we try to move that all in separate directions and and so on, that it gets a little wired nature look. Surely in the middle we drag some out, other we drag in, and so we get more and more a shape that looks like nature. That we have to do with all this stuff here that we built as mountains. So that is a little work, and it is no rule for that. You can make it as you want to make it. When you want to get them more out, then get them more out. When you want to get them in, get them in. You only must look that it looks from the front most that it makes sense. Here we have a floating down, so this one must be much down. So we get a huge influence and bring that down, that it comes down here. Then here we have a tunnel later, so we get here a huge scene that goes upward, such like that. Then we see here that is too similar, so we grab here and bring here little variations in. And that is the job in this part. But don't make it too strange, because the shading later, then you see you did it too much, and then that is gone. That is not good. So we grab here a little in, and there maybe a little bit down, and here some cuts in. Yeah, and here is too similar. Here we drag it in, and here too. But be careful there that you don't change the height there, because that is later important that you see that's close there. And when you look now, we have the problem when you look from the side that the down parts are straight and nothing looks straight in nature. So we have to do it in the Y to grab them out, so that we get variations there too. And then later you see that it floats and is not a straight line or something else. So grab Y. Y. Good. That nearly looks like mountains. Not really, but nearly. Good. We looked through our camera, and then you see how that looks later. We will change that angle later a little bit, but in a moment that is enough. So we delete what we don't need. So that means with this all what we don't see, we will delete. So we disable proportional, get here a circle or something else to mark, to select what we want here. That is that all we want to delete. Because when we don't see it, that takes all power of the computer, and we need our power for our models, so we can't use that for such like that. So the down part also we not see later, so we can delete that too. But be careful that you only delete the bottom and not the sides, and that you see. So here that can all be gone. So, and here that all. Yeah, nature is a problem to let it look real. It is real heavy stuff. And the best is to see much references and nature scenes and then ask yourself, what is there? What I see there? What is the message behind that? Yeah. And when you get that, it's no problem to try and try and try. And then you will see how you can work that out with Blender. And it took me a long time to get that halfway looking correct, but it is not perfect, but it is a start, and it works. That is the thing. Okay, so we done. Oh, with that, but here is a hole that isn't good. So we go back, Control Set. Oh, that was too much. Okay, then we will fix that manually. So we take here, grabbing extrude, and then close the faces. So you got that? That's good. We can give them a smooth. Then it is more smoothed, what is good for us. Then file, save. Then we need here the rock material is on it. So we go here to material, add a new material, call it rocks 1, 2, 3. Okay. We go here and give them a texture, image texture, and they are from textures.com. I told you before. There you can download them. That is one like that. Um, then we need an unwrap. So we go in here and must first apply the rotation scale of our object. So he knows the dimensions. Then we go in Magol and you to unwrap that. Now we see the rocks are on it, but it isn't perfect. So because of that, we need here some nodes. There's a node editor. You can get them here, clicking there. And then we need the input texture coordinates and mapping for the texture. We connect UV with UV. And here we go to texture. And here we connect vector with vector. And now we can say how great that should be. That is too great. So we will change this scale. We try 4. And we see that is much undetailed. So we must go in the other direction. So 0.5 and here 0.5. That looks a little better, but it is too big. We will go deeper. I think 3 or 2. You must look what looks the best. I think that is good for the start. We can change that every time. So we let that for first. File, save. We want to have their 3D effect on it. So we get here this image texture in displacement. Then you see we get more deep in there. Then one texture is too less. No rock looks like that. So we need a second rock texture. So we get a second mapping. Because the mapping should not be the same, then you see that it's the same. Shift D, we need another image texture. We connect now. I make it here a little bit up. Connect now here, UV with this vector and that here. Here we take now another stone. So I go to my texture folder and look what for stones we have. And I will get some like that, some dark stuff. And now we have to mix that surely. So we need a diffuse shader for our texture. We plug in the color of the second one. Then we have to mix that, both textures. So we need a mixer, shader, mix shader, bring it here between and connect it to the down part. Now you see he mixed that. That gives a more realistic style. Um, but in this case, we need another mixture uh, factor. So that is 50-50. When you go to the left side, you will only have that one. You go to the right side, you will only have that one. And when you go in the middle or something, then it's 50-50 mix of them. We will later bring there in then some classes and so on. We can do some class yet. Shift D to duplicate the mix shader. Get here then classy shader and bring that in here. Then we connect the darker one with the color and as a factor for the classy. So that gives some like that. Uh, Stone isn't that classy, so we go here with more roughness. Yeah, such like that. There's a little glow there, but not much. Yeah, that can be good. Good. For this displace that makes the 3D effect there, we need a math node to control that. So we go to converter, math converter, and bring it onto. Then we try here multiplier and get here the value down to 0.5. And then you see it's not that sharp as before. And we will tweak that later what is the best value for that. Good. File, save. We need a background picture that closes that gray stuff there. So on textures.com you can download some of them and I will take add mesh image as plane. If it isn't there, you must apply that in your add-ons. So I go to my folder and here I have landscapes and I will take this one. You can download them from textures.com. Now rotate X 90 and scale them up. That is our background. And we bring it to the back of this whole scene. And you see what happens. We can use them correctly as background. Here with the camera, we go more up and more rotate to the set and grabbing more that we look more into that whole scene there. And with this thing, we have to go backwards because we want to have there a hole. Yeah, here this whole stuff. Good, that looks for the start good, but that here I want to have more from the heaven there to see. So let's look when we go here more up, we lost that. When we bring them all down, no. Yeah, we'll see that later. Okay, we'll add it in a moment like it is. File, save. We need a bottom here where the gray thing is. So we add a plane. Then we scale them up and use them under all that stuff. So we bring it down to a point where the bridge ends. The bridge we don't see here very well, so we rotate set again a little bit more to that, grabbing, so that we have a look to our mated bridge there. We can go out and maybe a little grab and go out. Yeah, that is better, so we have more space for that all. And I think we can go a little bit more up. Yeah, such like that. Good. File save. We need here a snow texture on it. I saw that. And so we click on them and give here material, new material, call it snow. 1, because we will make later other. So we open here and get an image texture, open it. I go to my texture folder and get here some stuff like that here that you can download from textures.com. You know that. And now we need an unwrap, so we go in edit mode, U to unwrap, and now we have that texture on. That is to create. So we have to get them smaller. And that we can do in the nodes. We've seen that before and on the material. So what we have to do is to input texture coordinates, then the mapping, connect them color to color, a simple way. And then we go to texture, and then we can scale the size. You see the size here is too big, so we try here a 4 and a 4. That is bigger, so we must go deeper, 0.3, and here 0.3. That's better, but the dimensions, that must be very, very small. So we go here to 1, and here 1. That looks more like the high is that real. And then we go from the color to the displacement to get this 3D effect. That's good for snow and all other things. So we add here the glossy shader with a mix shader. So a mix shader between and a glossy to get that gloss effect on it. So we get that and plug it in, and we use that here as a factor and give them here that color. So we got that. That is a snow effect with that. That is a good one. So we got that bottom, we got that heaven there, we got that stones there. File, save. Now we need here this material under the iron stuff there. So we go here and add mesh a plane. I go here deeper, I need space. Add mesh plane, scale them up and bring him up. There comes the stones come on it, some beton comes on it, and yeah, many other stuff. So we scale in Y, and we have it under the complete scene. We go then down here, that we under that material there. And you see the first problems, because that isn't a straight one. So we have to go with this deeper. So we click here and go there deeper. And it has to be on the same height, so scale set 0. Good. Then we need the stone material on it and 2 parts for the beton layer. So that means that we take that, and bring it more onto, that we have here more space for the beton there later. Good. Then we give them here this stone material. So we go here to materials new and call it split. That's the German name for it. One. And go here to texture, image texture, open texture folder, and this you become on textures.com. You can download it for free there. Go in the edit mode, view to unwrap, and click unwrap, but before you must apply rotation and scale of it. Now we can unwrap and we have the stones there. They are to create, so we have to do the same as before. We get here add, input, texture coordinates, add, vector mapping, connecting color to color, get to texture mode, scale the size to 0.2, and here 0.2 again, and you see they are to create, so we can go here to 0.1, that is to create 2, so we go here to 0.05 and here 0.05. So we got that. That is a size that can happen. And then we take this here as this displacement for the 3D effector. There's a little bit too much effect, I think, but we'll add it in a moment. And we need the glossy shader shielding. So we add here at first the math node for the displays and go there to multiply, and then we add shader, mix shader with the glossy on it. So add glossy shader, connect it, say then that should be the factor, then you see what happens there, and it must be real, not real glossy, only a little. That is a good one. Bring in here that color again, so only a little shine is on there. Good, we done that. File, save. Then I want to make a tunnel in there where the train comes out. For that we take simply the bridge and Shift D, duplicate them, bring them up, rotate set 90 and bring it into our picture there and place it where it should be. You wonder why I use such things. You don't see that later, and that is the only thing that is important. So I can use that thing, that is no problem. We use scale in the set to make it a little bit higher that a train can come out of that. That is a good one. Now here is two that must darker in there. And so we add mesh plane, rotate X 90, bring them a little in front and scale it to the X. So we have that, that's good. Then we give them not a white, we give them a black. And that is too black. Nobody believes you that. So we get a second diffuse shift D. We can duplicate them, give them a little bit lighter black. And then we mix that with a mix shader. Connect them both into. And then we get them some noise on. So texture, that are internal textures from Blender. And there is a noise texture. You can take them and get them as a factor. And then you will get reflects. I make it harder so that you see that correct. That is our effect in the moment. That's like a little bit dark stuff. So the scale of our noise is too slow. So we get here 9. Ah, that is more. That looks like some of the stones there. And now we bring here a little bit down that we have only light other thing there. That is good. File save. Now we look at our lights. So we have here the world, LA down we have there. Then our other light is the sun here. So we go here, the sun. This sun should be have a hard shadow. So we go in here and type 005. That is a very hard shadow. And here we give them a little, but only a little yellow, because the sun is yellow. Then we give them here a 2, so that burns more the sun. Then to get that not darken, we need to give that picture an emit. So we go to the texture, and here we have a diffuse material that we change to an emit. So it emits light, and that looks more like the heaven and real. File, save. So that is a nice one. You can try a render. And we make next one here some snow, another mountain in the second background, then trees on it, and then we see here comes beton and some cables and such other things. So see you in the next tutorial. Bye.